Hello everyone, I'm Zeta Kai for the Gunpla Network, and this is going to be our review of the high-grade Universal Century Zeta Gundam Evolution Project Gundam Base Tokyo Limited Zeta Gundam 3 White Zeta Gundam, or the White Zeta Gundam Revive version. This kit is a Gundam Base exclusive, and this video is brought to you by Side7Exports.com because you can order your own Gundam Base exclusives through the website. Make sure you use the coupon code Gunpla Network 10 at checkout to save 10% on your entire order of exclusive, limited, beautiful P-Bandai kits, rare kits, and other kits. So this is the White Zeta Gundam. Now we're going to do a full review of this because we don't have a review of the Zeta Gundam Revive here on the Gunpla Network. So we're going to look at everything that makes up the Zeta Revive and what sets the White Zeta Gundam apart from the standard release. One thing that sets it apart is the really awesome coloration, the spectacular stickers, and the little Gundam base stand that you can see it rotating on right here. Yours will not rotate, it's just a piece of plastic, but it looks really good. It has that Gundam Base Tokyo design on it, and reminds everyone that you bought your kit from the Gundam base, or you had Gus buy it for you. So looking at the White Zeta, the first thing you're going to notice is the colors. It's white, off-white, gray, dark gray, vibrant purple, and little bits of clear green on the eyes. This kit has a lot of stickers on it. The standard kit has a lot of stickers, and the White Zeta has a few more. Now they're not egregious stickers like these little yellow ones here on the legs and in other areas, but the ones here on the wings are the ones that are probably the most offensive. The leading edge of the wings here on the Waverider motor backpack, all that purple you see is all stickers. And on the standard release it's red stickers. So that's probably the biggest downfall, and then you have all these other marking seals that go over top of it. I will say be very careful when you're applying those White Zeta stickers and marking seals, because if you are not really paying attention to that little manual, you can make mistakes. Like I did on the shield the first time I put it on upside down, and regrettably it shows. So it's a novice mistake. So let's take a look at the articulation. We're going to start with the weakest part of the articulation, the head. The collar on the Zeta Gundam is always a problem, just design-wise. And it's hard for designers to kind of work around that collar design. So it's a little limited. One thing that isn't limited are these shoulders. They have this really cool popping out mechanism that allows them to kind of wiggle forward and back and gives them just a little more range up and down. They have plenty of range up and down on their own, but popping them out will really allow you to tilt them forward and back. Here you can see it moving up and down. That little flap on the shoulder will move to give you more clearance and more range of mobility. You also have a little cut joint at the top of the forearm. As soon as I'm done spinning this 360 degrees, I'll show you that. There it is, the little cut joint at the bicep. And you get a 180 degree elbow joint, which is really cool, and your standard wrist. The chest and waist is very articulate, has a very interesting little hinge joint that's unique to this kit, and it will move side to side, and the waist will spin around 360 degrees. It's actually pretty movable. The nice thing about this is that it's stable and solid and has a lot of articulation. So the side skirts move. There's a nice little split that you can do, and it has this really cool little thigh swivel right here with the armor moving around to kind of hide it. You can kick forward very far. You can split those front skirts. In fact, I think it tells you to split them in the instruction manual, which is a cool addition. The knees are double jointed and will move as much as possible given the design of the Zeta Gundam. The ankles have a movable ankle guard. Will fold down very far because you need that for the transformation, and the ankles will pivot side to side. Another thing that a lot of other Zeta Gundam model kits kind of fail or lack in is that side to side motion, but you get a lot of it here. You don't get a lot of mobility here on the Waverider. They will tilt forward and back like this and rotate just a little bit, but they do not hinge forward and back, which is kind of annoying when you're trying to get it into some poses. There, it kind of fell apart. The nose cone will move up and down, and that's pretty much it. So let's look at the accessories. So you get a bevy of accessories with the Zeta Gundam Revive. You get these little parts here on the right that are all used for the parts forming or transformation into the Waverider mode. You basically tear apart the Gundam and reassemble it on that block there, that gray block. You get landing gear, the grenade launcher parts, beam saber blades and hilts, the beam rifle, and the hyper mega launcher. It's a lot of accessories, and it's definitely has its full loadout, including the shield there you can see on the Gundam as well. So let's take a look at these one by one. So first of all, we're going to look at the beam rifle. Looks great, nicely molded in light gray in this particular case. It collapses inward, the handle flips up, and this little tab pops out on the back to allow it to be attached to the Zeta Gundam's forearm, as it does in the show and in the anime. And here it is like that. It's a little awkward looking, but it's anime accurate, so I always appreciate that, and I like weapon storage on my Gundams. So the next thing we're going to look at is that hyper mega launcher. Really cool, impressive weapon. You pop it out, expand it, you can flip these cover guards down and flip the little handles out on the bottom and the sides. Very nice to be getting it in all white instead of all blue. A nice little variation, something special and unique for the white Zeta. On both the beam rifle and the hyper mega launcher, you can add the beam saber effect part, which again, anime accurate for the beam rifle and just looks really cool. The shield has a little gimmick where you can pop it open and put it back together, making it look like it has collapsed. There you can see that horrible sticker job that I did. So unfortunate. I feel like such a novice. Anyway, the Zeta Gundam does a great job with all these accessories, holding them, attaching them to it, and it looks really good with all of those in its hands. You only get those holding things hands. Regrettable that there isn't an open expressive hand, but I call for that on all my model kits from Bandai. Please, more expressive hands. The hyper mega launcher is super impressive. It takes a little bit of work to get it to hold it, but once you get it in hand, it's actually very secure. The shoulder joints are very, very tight and can be a little annoying when you're trying to pose it, but when you put this gigantic weapon in its hands, you understand why those joints are so tight, because it holds this with not really any problems. You do get beam saber hilts and effect parts. They work fine. They kind of fall out of the hand from time to time because they are a round peg in a square hole, very literally. But honestly, with the Zeta Gundam, are you really caring that much about beam saber effect parts? I mean, I don't. You also get the gimmick for the grenade launchers. You can put this little pack on the forearm, just plugs right in, and you get the little gimmick of the little door hinging open to reveal little grenades inside, little missiles kind of sticking out. You want to paint those in a color to make them more contrasting to the rest of the kit. So let's talk about the Waverider mode. Here is the Waverider mode. I did not film the whole transformation. It's basically disassembling all the major components, the arms, the legs, the chest, the cockpit hatch, the Waverider wings, and then reattaching them to that block like I mentioned before. But it looks great, and you get a really cool little attachment at the back for attaching it to an action base, so you can get it up in the air and flying and looking spectacular. All those little extra marking seals and stickers for the white Zeta really stand out here, especially these very crisply printed Caraba Air Force ones. You also get landing gear you can attach to the bottom of the hyper mega launcher, and it's fine. I can't see where you'd be displaying it like this, but you could. It looks good. It's nice to have, I guess. And here is the white Zeta next to the standard Zeta Revive, or Zeta Gundam Evolution Project. I just like to say Zeta Revive because it's more concise. They look great together, don't they? Man, wouldn't it be great if we had a gray Zeta and a red Zeta in the high grade form? Man, that would be so great. Please, Bandai, please. Can we get those other variants in something other than just P Bandai Master Grades? Someday. And while we're looking at it compared to other Zeta Gundam kits, here it is with some more. So we have, again, that high grade Revive there on the right, On the left is the Robot Damashi Zeta Gundam, a very expressive, dynamic looking figure, and the Unicorn Zeta over there, and the Real Grade on the far right in my custom color scheme. I love the Zeta, what can I say? They all look great together, don't they? So in conclusion, is this worth a buy? I think it is. I think it's different enough from the standard Zeta Gundam. The marking seals just give it that added edge and make it stand out from the rest of your Zeta Gundams in your collection. And who doesn't love another Amuro suit? The Zeta Gundam Revive itself, just the standard one, any one that you would pick up, is a spectacular version of the Zeta Gundam. I love the fact that there are no concessions made to it being transformable. The parts forming is a little annoying, I guess, if you're like a purist and you want it to fully transform. But the parts forming to me is not a problem. I love it. It makes the kit stable, secure, articulate, dynamic, and makes it look great. I highly, highly recommend this kit in all its forms, especially the white Zeta Gundam form. Well, that's it. That's been my review. I look forward to more Zeta Gundam information and reviews in the future from me. And again, keep building.